Over 70 million tons of aluminum are produced every year across the globe. To reach this impressive number, more than 400 million tons of bauxite, the rock from which aluminum is extracted, must be processed. But how does a reddish rock turn into one of the world's most used metals? And how exactly does this transformation happen? It all starts with clearing large areas of land rich in bauxite. Excavators and trucks prepare the site for drilling. Holes are then drilled, and explosives are placed to break the rock into smaller, manageable pieces. After the explosions, heavy machinery collects the debris. The extracted material is moved using methods like side casting, where material is shifted to the sides of the trench to make handling and storage easier. The land is carefully managed, and the trenches are reused for storing the mined material. Sometimes, over 10 cuts are made in the area to better organize materials and reduce dust. After blasting, the debris varies in size. Smaller fragments are handled one way, while larger ones are stored in piles. Conveyor belts, cranes, and other equipment organize and move the materials into huge stockpiles ready for the next stage. Once ready, the bauxite is loaded into secure shipping containers and transported to ports. From there, it's shipped to processing facilities. The first major step in refining is called digestion. Crushed bauxite is mixed with caustic soda in a digester. This chemical reacts with the aluminum hydroxide in the bauxite, dissolving it. The mixture is then heated and pressurized to speed up the reaction, forming sodium aluminate, a compound of sodium, aluminum, and oxygen. Next, the solution is moved to another facility where seed crystals are added. These serve as a base for forming alumina crystals through a process called precipitation. The sodium aluminate solution is kept at the right temperature while seed crystals are slowly introduced. Aluminum hydroxide molecules stick to the seeds and, with the help of special trays, grow into larger crystals. After this stage, calcination begins. The crystals are removed from the trays and cooled in a controlled way. As the solution cools, the solubility of sodium aluminate drops, causing aluminum hydroxide to form and attach to the seed crystals, growing into larger, purer alumina crystals, which are essential for the next stages of aluminum production. Once the crystals are large enough, they're separated from the solution through thickening and filtration. They are then washed thoroughly to remove any impurities and prepare them for the final steps of aluminum manufacturing. Once the purified alumina is ready, it goes through drying and calcination at very high temperatures. The final stage before aluminum production is preparing the anodes, large carbon blocks used in electrolytic cells to extract aluminum. First, these carbon blocks are prepared in a way that allows them to work efficiently within the system. A steel rod is then inserted precisely into each anode block. Molten iron is poured into a mold around the joint between the rod and the carbon block. Once it solidifies, this creates a strong and conductive connection, ensuring the anode works reliably during smelting. Next comes the smelting process. Molten aluminum is carefully poured into molds to shape it into ingots. The pouring must be precise to avoid splashing or turbulence and ensure even filling. The molds, usually made of cast iron or heat-resistant steel, help the aluminum solidify properly. After solidifying, mechanical arms and conveyor belts move the ingots for further processing. Each ingot is checked for weight, quality, and consistency. When larger ingots are needed, the molten aluminum is collected in a special machine and goes through purification to remove impurities. The aluminum is poured into secure molds, and any air bubbles or residues are manually removed to ensure a smooth surface. Workers use ladles or crucibles to pour the metal in a controlled manner, avoiding turbulence and defects. These large ingots, which can weigh up to 30 tons, are then cooled and made ready for the next steps. To make the metal easier to shape, the ingots are moved using cranes to a preheating facility, where they're heated to about 500 degrees Celsius. This softens the metal, making it easier to roll. Before rolling, the top and bottom surfaces of the ingots go through a scalping process to remove imperfections, leaving a smooth, almost mirror-like surface. Then the ingots are preheated again to prepare for rolling. The rolling happens in a reversible mill with powerful rollers driven by motors of 7,000 horsepower each. These rollers compress the metal, reducing its thickness significantly. Even after cutting off the ends, the ingots can still weigh up to 20 tons. The rolling continues until the desired thickness is reached. Afterward, the aluminum is cooled to temperatures between 90 degrees Celsius and 140 degrees Celsius, then sent to cold mills for further thinning. In this stage, the aluminum is rolled into coils that can stretch up to 1.5 kilometers long. But the process doesn't stop there. The aluminum goes through several intermediate steps to correct thickness and fix any surface flaws. A single ingot that originally measured 9 meters long and over 50 centimeters thick can be turned into an ultra-thin aluminum coil several kilometers long. Once finished, the coils are sent to the manufacturing department, where each one is labeled with a unique code for quality control and tracking. Factory-made ready meals provide convenience and variety for busy lifestyles. The process starts with fresh, high-quality ingredients sourced from trusted suppliers. These are cleaned, prepped, and cooked in industrial kitchens under strict hygiene standards. Advanced machinery handles tasks like chopping, mixing, and portioning, while skilled workers oversee the production. Meals are cooked using methods that mimic home-style preparation, such as steaming, baking, or frying. Once ready, the food is rapidly chilled or frozen to preserve flavor and nutrients. Packaged in microwavable or oven-safe containers, ready meals undergo thorough quality checks before being distributed to stores worldwide. Eggs are a versatile ingredient used in various industries, from bakeries and pastry shops to pasta factories. Need to separate egg whites from yolks. This machine can accomplish this at a speed of 220 eggs per hour. For sorting eggs, the MT8 machine excels with 12 brushes and the ability to adjust the ideal temperature between 40 degrees Celsius and 55 degrees Celsius. This machine designed to wash, sort, and separate egg whites from yolks with remarkable efficiency, processing up to 25,600 eggs per hour. And here we have an exciting look at how the red bean cake with mochi is made in the factory. The process begins with creating the monaka shell, a crisp outer layer made from a thin baked wafer. These shells are placed on a moving production line, ready to be filled. Machines then add a smooth and sweet red bean paste. Next, a thin layer of chewy mochi is carefully placed inside each shell. Finally, ice cream is added, filling the sandwich completely. Once assembled, the red bean cake with mochi is quickly frozen to maintain its texture and freshness. After freezing, they are packed into boxes in cold storage before being shipped to stores. As we continue, we see how this factory produces thousands of chocolate-coated nougat bars every day. The process begins with making the nougat, a chewy mixture of sugar, honey, and whipped egg whites, often mixed with nuts or caramel for extra flavor. The nougat is poured into large trays and cooled until it becomes firm. Then, it is cut into bar shapes using sharp-moving blades. Next comes the chocolate coating. Each bar moves along a conveyor belt and passes through a curtain of warm, melted chocolate that covers it completely. After coating, the bars enter a cooling tunnel where the chocolate hardens into a smooth, shiny layer. Finally, the finished bars are wrapped, labeled, and packed into boxes ready to be sent to stores. Over 12 million pieces of KFC's fried chicken are served every day around the world. To meet this massive demand, millions of chickens are raised and processed. But how is KFC's famous crispy fried chicken made? In this video, we'll take you behind the scenes to see how the crispiest, most delicious fried chicken is produced. Kentucky Fried Chicken was created by Colonel Harlan Sanders in the 1940s. His secret recipe, made with 11 herbs and spices, changed the way chicken is prepared. It offered an unmatched flavor and a signature crispy texture, making fried chicken more popular and accessible. The journey of KFC's chicken begins on poultry farms. In the United States alone, thousands of farms raise chickens to supply KFC. Over 14,000 hens lay about 12,000 fertile eggs daily. The eggs roll onto a conveyor belt, where workers separate fertile from infertile ones. Fertile eggs are stored at 20 degrees Celsius until sent to the hatchery, where they are incubated in controlled conditions for 18 days. The eggs are carefully turned every hour to simulate natural conditions. By day 19, chicks begin to hatch, emerging covered in down feathers. In their first few weeks, chicks are fed a high-protein starter feed to support early growth. As they mature, they switch to a grower feed rich in protein, energy, and essential nutrients for muscle development and weight gain. With 24/7 access to automatic feeders and drinkers, they grow uninterrupted. Females reach slaughter weight in about 38 days, while males take around 65 days to reach 3 kilograms. Once they reach the desired weight, they are transported to the meat processing plant. When the chickens arrive, they are humanely stunned to make sure they are unconscious and do not feel pain before they are quickly slaughtered. The feathers are removed by dipping the chickens in a hot water bath, followed by a machine with rotating rubber fingers that remove the feathers. The chicken's outer surface is washed with high-pressure water and food-safe solutions to clean off feathers, dirt, and waste, while the inside is flushed with clean water to remove blood and tissue. The feet are usually removed first. Next, a vent cutter is used to carefully remove the chicken's internal organs, including the intestines, liver, heart, and lungs, in one motion. Plant workers and inspectors check each chicken for diseases and issues like bruising. Only a small number of chickens are rejected. Those that meet the standards continue through the process. The chickens are then moved to an automated system where they are positioned precisely using hooks or clamps. This ensures that the cutting machines can work efficiently. Key parts like breast meat are processed with great precision. The front halves of the chickens are placed on specialized saddles that hold them securely. Cutting tools based on a programmed recipe make precise cuts for consistent product quality. Once the birds are pre-cut, they go to manual stations where workers pick fillets and tenders for the best quality. After the meat is separated from the bones, it is scanned with advanced X-ray technology to find any remaining bone fragments. Pieces with leftover bone are sent for manual inspection, where workers remove the remaining bits by hand. Boneless meat is then sent to an intelligent processing line that releases the products only when they meet specific batch requirements. The finished chicken parts, including drumsticks, thighs, and breasts, are delivered fresh or frozen to KFC. Before cooking begins, the chicken undergoes a quality check to ensure it has no defects, is in good condition, and meets KFC's standards. The chicken is first dipped in a liquid mixture, usually made of water with a touch of spices and salt. After marinating, the pieces are removed and coated in KFC's signature flour and spice blend. This step is key to achieving the brand's famous flavor and crispy texture. Next, the chicken is pressed firmly into the coating, ensuring the batter adheres properly. Workers follow a precise process, lifting and turning each piece 20 times. Excess flour is then shaken off to prevent the coating from becoming too thick. Now, the chicken is ready for pressure frying, the same method perfected by Colonel Sanders in the 1940s. Industrial pressure fryers cook the chicken quickly and evenly at 180 degrees Celsius for about 10 minutes. This method ensures the chicken remains juicy on the inside while developing a crispy golden brown crust. Unlike traditional frying, pressure frying helps the chicken absorb less oil, keeping the texture light and flavorful while sealing in natural juices. After frying, the chicken is placed on a tray to drain any excess oil. It is left to rest for a few minutes, allowing the coating to set and the internal juices to redistribute. This step enhances the overall taste and texture, making every bite more satisfying. Once the order is ready, the freshly cooked chicken is placed into KFC's iconic buckets. These containers are specially designed to keep the chicken warm and crisp until it reaches the customer. And here we have a fried chicken processing factory, where the journey begins with coating. Fresh or frozen chicken pieces are covered in a mixture of flour, spices, and sometimes batter. This coating gives the chicken its crispy texture when fried. Next comes the frying stage. The coated chicken moves into large industrial fryers filled with hot oil. The right temperature and frying time ensure the chicken is fully cooked inside while turning golden and crispy on the outside. After frying, the chicken is drained to remove excess oil. It is then cooled, packed, and either frozen or sent out fresh for delivery. Quality checks are done at every step to ensure safety and great taste. This process allows the factory to produce large amounts of fried chicken quickly and efficiently, ensuring customers always get a delicious, crispy product to enjoy. As we continue our journey into food production, let's explore how cow sausages are made in a factory. Factories use a step-by-step process to make them tasty and safe to eat. First, fresh cow meat is cleaned and ground into fine pieces. Spices, salt, and other flavorings are mixed into the meat. to give the sausages their delicious taste. The seasoned meat is then stuffed into casings, which are thin tubes made from natural or synthetic materials. These casings hold the meat together and give the sausages their classic shape. Once stuffed, the sausages are linked into portions and cooked in ovens or smokehouses to enhance their flavor and ensure they are fully cooked. After cooking, the sausages are cooled and inspected for quality. They are then packaged in plastic wraps or vacuum-sealed bags to keep them fresh. Finally, the sausages are boxed and sent to stores ready to be enjoyed in meals or on the grill. In this factory, stick-shaped cookies go through a detailed process to become a delicious treat with chocolate and peanuts. The process begins with pre-baked cookie sticks, moved along a conveyor belt to the dipping station, where machines coat one end with melted chocolate. Next, peanut ranches are added on top of the chocolate coating, giving the cookies a crunchy texture and extra flavor. After the peanuts are added, the cookies are dipped in chocolate again to cover the peanut ranches. This double coating helps keep the peanuts in place and gives the cookies a smooth finish. The cookies are then moved to a cooling station where they are left to cool down, allowing the chocolate to harden. Once cooled, the cookies go through a quality check. If they pass, they are sent to the packaging stage. The cookies are wrapped in plastic or placed in boxes, labeled and then packed into cartons to be sent to stores for customers to enjoy. Next up, let's explore the process of making this British savory food spread called Marmite, based on yeast extract, salt, and vegetable juices. These ingredients are cooked together in large vats until they form a thick, dark paste. The paste is then carefully cooled and checked for quality. Once the Marmite reaches the right consistency, it is packed into jars. Machines fill the jars with the paste, ensuring each one contains the correct amount. The jars are sealed tightly to keep the Marmite fresh. After sealing, labels with the product name, ingredients, and expiration date are added. The jars are then packed into boxes and prepared for shipment. This entire process ensures that Marmite is made with high quality and is ready for customers to enjoy. Now, let's dive into the fascinating process of how instant noodles are made. It all starts with mixing wheat flour, water, and other ingredients to create a dough. This dough is rolled into thin sheets and then cut into long, thin noodle strands. Next, the noodles are steamed to cook them partially. After steaming, they go through a shaping process to form the familiar noodle blocks. To remove moisture and preserve them for a long time, the noodles are either deep-fried in hot oil or air-dried. Once dried, they are cooled and checked for quality. Then, they are packed with seasoning sachets, which contain flavors like chicken, beef, or vegetables. Finally, the noodles are sealed in cups or packets ready to be shipped to stores. Over 100 million bags of Doritos are sold worldwide each year, making it one of the most popular snacks globally. Doritos, created in the 1960s by Frito-Lay executive Arch West, began with a simple idea inspired by crispy tortillas found in a San Diego restaurant. Using surplus tortillas, West cut them into triangles, fried them, and added seasoning, creating the first batch of Doritos. Today, with more than 10 different flavors, Doritos continue to be a top-selling chip worldwide. Unlike regular potato chips, Doritos are made from corn flour. The process starts with carefully harvesting corn cobs, ensuring they remain intact and undamaged. The plants are cut just above the ground, and the cobs are removed and loaded into containers. Once full, these containers are transported by truck to the factory for processing. At the factory, the corn is cleaned and dried using vibrating screens that remove dust, stones, and sand. The moisture content is then adjusted to 14%, a crucial step for production. Every day, the factory receives 45,000 kilograms of corn. The dried corn is transferred to large storage silos before being cooked in water. Over a year, this adds up to more than 6.5 million kilograms of finished product. A massive amount of corn. The facility is divided into 4 main sections, including a 65,000 square meter distribution center. Each day, the factory produces approximately 70,000 bags of Doritos, totaling around 18 million bags per year. The first step in making Doritos is cooking the corn before it moves to the soaking tanks. The process begins with boilers equipped with agitators that cook the corn at a temperature close to boiling. The cooked corn is then transferred to 18 open tanks, where it soaks for 12 hours. Each batch contains approximately 300 kilograms of corn and 90 kilograms of water. The kernels are cooked to 93 degrees Celsius for about 4 minutes before soaking overnight, which softens them and allows them to absorb moisture. This soaking process also helps loosen and remove the husk, the outer covering of the kernel. Once softened, the corn moves to a filtration system that drains the excess water, leaving only hydrated kernels. When the moisture content reaches 45% and the husks have fully loosened, a pumping system transfers the corn to a washing machine, where high-pressure water jets remove the remaining husks. The cleaned kernels then travel on a conveyor belt to the milling stage. The corn is ground into a dough using rotating millstones that crush the kernels into a soft paste. Water is added during the grinding process to achieve the right consistency. 3 key factors are monitored: moisture content, temperature, and texture. The finished dough is then shaped into a thin sheet as it passes through metal rollers. A third roller cuts the dough into triangular pieces, similar to a cookie cutter. These rollers can cut 6,000 individual chips per minute, over 8 million in 24 hours. The freshly cut chips move along a conveyor belt to the next stage. The raw chips enter a 3-level industrial oven, set at 340 degrees Celsius. They remain inside for just 16 seconds, long enough to dry the dough while preserving some moisture. This moisture creates tiny air pockets that form the signature bubbles on the surface of Doritos, giving them their crunchy texture. Any leftover dough from the cutting process isn't wasted. It's sent back to the dough vats to be reused. After baking, the chips move on to the next phase of production, where they will be fried, seasoned, and packaged into the Doritos we know and love. After baking, the chips move along a series of conveyor belts to cool before entering the fryer. This brief pause allows inspectors to check for any burnt chips. The chips then travel on a conveyor belt into the fryer, where they are submerged in oil heated to 182 degrees Celsius for 55 seconds. This is where they develop their golden color and crispy texture. During frying, the trapped air pockets inside the chips expand, forming the characteristic bubbles seen on finished Doritos. As they exit the fryer, a mesh conveyor belt removes excess oil, which is filtered and returned for reuse. Next, the freshly fried chips enter a large rotating drum, where they are coated with seasoning. A specialized auger system feeds nacho seasoning into the drum, with large sacks of the spice mix added at the top of the machine. The seasoning blend includes a secret combination of cheddar cheese, Parmesan cheese, spices, flavor enhancers like MSG, and preservatives to extend shelf life. To ensure the seasoning sticks evenly, nozzles spray the chips with canola oil. The drum's rotation distributes the flavor while also acting as a buffer, preventing the delicate chips from breaking. The seasoned Doritos then travel along a 30-meter conveyor belt, allowing them to fully cool before packaging. Once cooled, the chips reach the packaging department where hoppers guide them into various packaging machines. This stage is a precise, high-speed process. Each packaging machine is equipped with 14 cube-shaped scales that carefully measure the chips. When the correct amount for a bag is reached, a trapdoor opens, dropping the chips into the forming bag. At the same time, a strip of aluminum and plastic film is shaped into a bag, which is then sealed and cut using heat-sealing technology. To keep the Doritos fresh, the machine injects nitrogen into the bag before sealing it airtight. This process removes oxygen, preventing spoilage, and also creates an air cushion inside the bag to protect the chips from breaking. Each large bag contains around 100 chips. Finally, an operator ensures that each box contains 8 bags before they are sent for distribution. This factory manufactures and packages 70,000 bags of Doritos every day, totaling over 18 million bags per year, a $4 billion industry. Frozen pizza is produced in factories using a highly efficient method that combines advanced technology with stringent quality control to provide tasty, convenient meals. It all begins with preparing the dough, made from a precise blend of flour, water, yeast, and other ingredients. The dough is mixed and left to rise before being rolled into flat sheets and cut into the desired pizza shapes. Next, the pizza bases are partially baked in high-temperature ovens, ensuring a firm crust while maintaining softness inside. After cooling, the partially baked crusts move along conveyor belts to the topping stations. Here, sauce is evenly spread, followed by layers of cheese, meats, and vegetables. Each topping is applied with precision using automated dispensers to guarantee consistency. The fully assembled pizzas are then flash frozen in specialized freezers that rapidly reduce their temperature. This process locks in freshness and preserves the taste and texture of the ingredients. Once frozen, the pizzas are packaged in boxes designed to prevent damage and maintain product quality during transport. Throughout the production, rigorous quality control checks ensure every pizza meets safety and flavor standards. These frozen pizzas are then distributed to stores ready to provide customers with a quick and delicious meal option. As we continue exploring how food is made, let's take a look at how mashed potatoes are made in a factory. The process begins with fresh potatoes delivered to the factory. They are thoroughly washed and peeled to remove dirt and skins. Next, the potatoes are cut into smaller pieces and sent to large steam cookers, where they are cooked until soft. Once cooked, the potatoes go through mashers and mixers, where butter, milk, salt, and other seasonings are added. This creates a smooth and creamy texture. Some factories may also use additional ingredients to make instant mashed potatoes, which can be rehydrated with water. After mixing, the mashed potatoes are cooled and packed into containers, pouches, or frozen packs to keep them fresh. Thanks to this process, People can enjoy mashed potatoes quickly and easily at home. In this factory, homemade-style pizzas are made for supermarkets without changing any ingredients. The goal is to keep the same taste and quality as a pizza made at home. Fresh ingredients like dough, tomato sauce, cheese, and toppings are used. The machines mix and knead the dough, just like in a home kitchen. Then, the dough is shaped into pizza bases. A layer of rich tomato sauce is spread evenly, followed by fresh cheese and a variety of toppings like pepperoni, mushrooms, and vegetables. The pizzas are baked in special ovens that give them a homemade texture and taste. Once cooled, they are carefully packed and sent to supermarkets. Customers can then buy them and bake them at home for a fresh and delicious meal. Who can resist a delicious ice cream bar covered in chocolate? The process of making it begins with the ice cream base. High-quality ingredients like milk, cream, sugar, and flavorings are mixed together in large tanks. Once the base is ready, it's poured into specially shaped molds, usually in the form of bars. These molds then enter a blast freezer where they're quickly frozen to a solid state. Rapid freezing is crucial to prevent ice crystals from forming, keeping the ice cream smooth and creamy. After the ice cream bars have reached a semi-solid state, sticks are inserted into each one. Robotic arms carefully place the sticks at just the right angle, so they're stable for dipping and handling. The bars are then fully frozen, making them ready for the next stage. Now comes the most exciting part, the chocolate coating. Each ice cream bar is dipped into melted chocolate, which is kept at the perfect temperature to achieve a smooth coating. The chocolate quickly hardens as it hits the cold ice cream, creating a crisp shell that locks in the creamy center. Once coated, the bars move down a conveyor to the wrapping station. Each bar is individually wrapped in airtight packaging to keep it fresh. Finally, the bars go through a quality control check, where inspectors ensure each one is perfect in size, shape, and appearance. Only after passing this inspection are the bars packed into boxes for distribution. Bread production begins with high-quality ingredients. Factories source the finest flour, water, salt, and yeast. Some breads may also contain oil or other seasonings depending on the variety being made. Next, the ingredients are mixed together in large industrial mixers. Water and flour are combined with yeast and salt to form a smooth dough. Once the dough reaches the perfect consistency, it's divided into individual portions. These portions are then shaped into flat discs. Factories use specialized equipment to ensure each piece of dough is the same size and thickness for uniform baking. The dough is then sent to proofing chambers where it rests and rises slightly. Bread is baked on hot conveyor belts or stone ovens. The heat causes the dough to puff up, creating the signature air pockets inside. Each one spends just a few minutes in the oven baking to a soft golden perfection. Some breads are cooked until slightly crispy depending on the desired style. Have you ever wondered how your favorite cookies are mass-produced in a factory? It all starts with choosing the finest ingredients. Factories use high-quality flour, sugar, butter, and other essentials in bulk. These are precisely measured using automated systems to ensure consistency in every batch. In industrial mixers, the dough is created. The mixing process is carefully controlled to ensure the perfect blend of wet and dry ingredients. Once the dough is ready, it's transferred to specialized machines designed to shape the cookies. Whether it's traditional round cookies or fun shapes, The dough is rolled, cut, or pressed into molds. The shapes then move along the conveyor belt, ready for the next step in the journey. Next comes the most crucial part: baking. The shaped dough travels into large commercial ovens, where temperatures are perfectly regulated to bake the cookies evenly. These ovens can handle thousands of cookies at once. As the cookies bake, their flavors are sealed and their textures come to life, whether crispy or chewy. It all depends on precise timing and temperature control. Once the cookies come out of the oven, they're sent to a cooling area. This helps them set, ensuring that they maintain their structure and don't crumble when packaged. Each cookie undergoes strict quality checks to make sure it's up to standard before heading to the packaging line. Now that the cookies are cool, it's time to pack them up. Advanced packaging machines quickly and efficiently wrap the cookies, ensuring they remain fresh and undamaged during transportation. Haribo candies are produced in factories using a combination of traditional methods and modern technology. The process begins with the careful selection of ingredients such as sugar, gelatin, glucose syrup, flavorings, and food colorings. Once the ingredients are gathered, they are mixed together in large vats to create the candy mixture. The mixture is then heated to a precise temperature to ensure it reaches the correct consistency. Different flavors and colors are added at this stage to create the variety of Haribo candies available on the market. The next step in the process is shaping the candies. The warm candy mixture is poured into molds that give the candies their iconic shapes, such as bears, worms, or rings. The molds are carefully designed to ensure each candy is uniform in size and shape. After the candies have been shaped, they are cooled and allowed to set. This process can take several hours, depending on the type of candy being produced. Once the candies have set, they are removed from the molds and sent to the packaging area. In the packaging area, the candies are sorted and packaged into the familiar bags or boxes. The packaging is designed to keep the candies fresh and protect them during transportation. Labels are added to the packaging to provide important information such as ingredients, expiration dates, and nutritional content. Quality control is a crucial part of the manufacturing process at Haribo factories. Samples of candies are regularly taken from the production line and tested to ensure they meet the company's high standards. Once harvested, the shrimps delivered to the factory, where they are washed thoroughly in cold water to remove dirt, bacteria, and contaminants, helping maintain their freshness. The shrimp are then graded and sorted by size and quality. After this, they are deveined by making a small incision to remove the digestive tract, which improves both appearance and taste. Next, the shrimp are peeled, and depending on market preferences, some may have their tails left intact. In some factories, shrimp are further processed into breaded or seasoned products. This involves coating the shrimp with batter, breadcrumbs, or seasonings before frying them in hot oil for added flavor and texture. After frying or final preparation, shrimp are quickly frozen individually on conveyor belts to preserve freshness and ensure easy portioning. Finally, the frozen shrimp are weighed, packed into secure containers, and stored at low temperatures, ready for distribution to markets. The journey of hazelnuts begins in the orchard, where it harvested from mature trees. Once collected, the nuts are cleaned and sorted to remove leaves and dirt. At the factory, the first step is thorough cleaning. Machines remove the outer husk and any remaining impurities. Advanced sorting equipment ensures that only the highest quality hazelnuts move forward in the process. Next, the hazelnuts are dried to reduce moisture and extend shelf life. Once dried, the nuts are cracked open to extract the edible kernel inside. After cracking, the hazelnuts can be roasted for enhanced flavor. Whether for snacking or use in products like chocolate spreads, the roasting process adds depth to the flavor. Once roasted or processed, the hazelnuts are packaged in various forms, from whole kernels to ground flour. Quality control is paramount. Every batch is inspected for size, texture, and flavor consistency.